068-2017. I'm sorry. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
It's been moved and second. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The motion carries.
Good catch.
Thanks, Brian. Should say thanks number 2. 068-2017, it's a request from the Cecil American Legion for the donation of $250. We've been doing that for the last 30-some years. They host a luncheon on Memorial Day, and the code allows the township to make a contribution for any event like that they have, or that hosted in the community. So we've always done it. Is there any issue with that?
No, I'd like to make that motion.
Been moved and seconded.
Second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The motion carries. You're all welcome to attend down there too on Memorial Day morning.
Thank you.
069-2017, it's to consider engaging in a winter maintenance agreement with PennDOT for Muse Bishop Road. I think, Frank, yes, you've been done a lot of research. You've asked Dawn to get a copy of the agreement, and I think we have to act on it one way or the other this month because the deadline's May 31st.
Yes, I've talked to Adam Smith, I believe 2 weeks ago from PennDOT, and he said he's willing to do the work, the shoulder cutting to keep the water off the roadway, install the guide rail there on that one area, and he'd say, you know, he's going to follow through with this. So I think to protect the residents and the children riding school buses to the school complex next winter, I feel we should enter into a 3-year agreement with PennDOT for this road only.
I think the other issue that keeps coming up, though, is that putting manpower on that road is going to take away from somebody, or some other roads that the crew could be doing. Dawn, I think you had some information on new roads that we're going to have to be taking care of this winter anyway that we didn't have to last winter.
I had asked Dan for a list. Dan, were you able to get that? I know it was late.
Yeah, I did. Could you come up there, Dan? And our issue is that we have a good reputation for the service we provide to the residents. Timely, we can make a round in, what, 2 hours? We get a complete round?
About 2.5 hours.
And then we're just questioning that if we take on this amount of a project that has to have priority, plus adding these new roads that you're going to mention now, is the rest of our residents going to suffer? So
Well, it takes a half hour to run up Muse Bishop Road, you know, from 50 to 90, turn around, come back and reload. I don't see it was a big loss of time.
Well, but I mean, Dan has some other roads that this past winter we didn't have to do.
Yeah, in 2000, this is just the expected roads for acceptance in 2017. And these roads, all of them except one have their final wearing course on them. In Timber Run 3, Windance Drive, Timber Run 4, Windance and Pinion Drive, in Overlook Phase 1, Cold Stream Drive and Dantry Drive, Overlook 2, Overview Drive, Overlook 3, Brookstone Drive and Point Court, Windsor Woods, Phase 3, King Edward Drive and Sir Richard Drive, and then Ridgewood Heights, there's Ridgewood Drive. So that totals about 2.14 miles.
Wait, so what you're saying is they don't do Windance Drive right now?
Windance and Phase.
Yeah, I wonder, because I can tell you for certain that Cecil Township already does winter maintenance on Windance and Pinion Court. So, and King Edward. So I'm wondering how many of those roads are actually additional winter maintenance roads?
I was just one saying the ones we didn't accept yet.
No, I know. So Bill, how many of that list would truly be new winter maintenance roads?
Well, last year, we had...
Bill, could you come up here so everybody can hear, please?
Yes, I will. Mr. Chairman. Last year, we added an additional approximately 4 miles of roads to our winter maintenance route. Some of those routes include the remainder of Breezewood Drive, which was up in Alto Piano, Springhouse Drive, a small section of Network Drive leading up to Belvedere Court, Skyline Drive, and then over in the Overlook, we had Coldstream and a portion of Gantry that we added last year.
Wait, can I stop you for 1 second? I'm confused. These are what you're going to be adding next year?
These were added this year.
No, so I don't think we're...
This past...
Because you're saying this past winter you could do your route in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, bumped up to about almost 3 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes, something like that.
That's just salting. That's not plowing. Once it quits snowing, it takes longer to clean a route up.
So how long?
That's one round.
How long would you anticipate it takes you?
Completely clear everything
Yeah.
under 4 hours.
Today, if you had to go up today,
And how would adding Muse Bishop or change that?
I would say that it would add probably another 45 minutes to an hour.
but Dan, do you have a list of roads that are being proposed, they either have escrow money down that they're going to be done this year, or that you're inspecting right now that will be on our agenda sometime this spring or summer or fall?
But his list doesn't
Well, let
show.
him finish. Dan, you said you had a list, the ones you know that are coming up.
Yeah, it sounds like Bill's already doing a couple of those.
I've included roads that were already accepted. Brookstone Drive, not Brookstone, but Evandale Drive, Greystone Drive, we accepted last year. That's something I would too.
We know that, you've already done that, we need
So
to
go
know.
road by road, Dan, and ask one at a time, and you say if you already do it. Because I know for a fact you already do wind dance and pinion.
It sounds like you're doing all of Timberville. Okay, so those are out, that's about 2,000 feet that's going. And then what we're doing is this first section.
Yes.
Okay, so that's another 3,000 feet. So it's about 8,000 feet, so it's about a mile and a half. I said 2 miles, it sounds like there's a couple of these already doing.
Right, okay, that's it.
But did that include the ones that you know that are going to be paved this summer, that, you know, they haven't even paved yet, but they will be asking us this fall?
It does fall.
Okay, good.
I have some questions for both of them. May I speak? Either one or both of you. When is the last time, or what are the grades on this? I want to talk about the state roads. What are the grades of the 9 state roads that I know of here in our township? Do either of you know?
When you say grades, what are you speaking
Well,
to?
I understand the state grades them, A, B, C, D, maybe E and F. I'm not sure, and that determines what type of work they
In your
do.
maintenance cycle?
Yes.
Yes. I'm not aware, I don't even know where I have that information. We can try to get it.
I should think that that's important to this, because I'd like to know when it was done, when they graded the roads, and has anybody done a traffic study on any of the 9 roads to see what how much it might have, the traffic might have increased?
The roads are categorized by SR number generally. For example, 79 is what they call a 2-digit. In their lingo, they'll call it a 2-digit SR, meaning that 79 will receive top priority as far as their logistics when they go out.
Right, I understand that.
And Muse Bishop, for example, was I think 1010. So it's a 4-digit SR. So you know, and in between you'll have 3-digit SR. For example, 980. So 980 would get treated before 1010 would, just because of the hierarchy of their nomenclature for the highway system.
Well, what I want to know is when they were graded.
I don't know that they grade them. I know they categorize them.
Well, when were they categorized?
That's something that Adam Smith, Frank mentioned his name. Frank, Adam is the maintenance director for this county. He would be able to probably answer those questions.
He sort of told me the same scenario what you're telling me, Dawn, is if Muse Bishop Road had a 3-digit numerical state route number, that would have priority. And what I've been told this past winter, when it did snow, probably back into January, when it was bad, I believe our police department radioed into 911 to have PennDOT come out. PennDOT's response was, we'll get to that road tomorrow. We're concerned about the interstates. So that's why I'm saying I think we should highly consider, you know, taking this over as our maintenance, having school buses run and residents go through this town like this. I believe the traffic study is 2,900. It's going to increase to 4,100 when the school opens. I feel we owe it to our residents for the safety, you know, that we take this on. I was told, you know, last fall, you know, there'd be no problem. We're running trucks that direction through this town, but now, you know, everybody's changed their mind thought on it. I guess in-house here, what I've been hearing.
Well, frankly, comments come up that, where is it gonna, we take a guy off somewhere to go on that road, and someone else somewhere.
Tom, we're continuing to expand. We keep putting housing plans in. We need additional trucks. We need additional workers. I mean, it's coming at us. We
Frank, I
know.
gotta clarify that. We're not putting any housing plans in. I mean, developers are. And
Well, yeah,
they-
developers.
Right.
Whether who builds it, Tom, there's 500 houses coming in there.
Right, so again, our road department's gonna have to address that, let alone taking some state responsibility. I mean, I'm just saying, that's the question.
It takes 10 minutes to run down the road and back, Tom. I mean, you can inflate the numbers and time all you want. I've done this type of work. I mean, come on.
I didn't inflate any numbers. I had no clue what.
It's 45 minutes to an hour to run down Muse Bishop Road, turn around, come back. You'd have to drive 5 miles an hour. I mean, where are we at? Come on, let's be sensible here. You just don't want to do it. Plain, that's what it is.
Well, Frank, honestly, logistically, I have a 550 that runs over Muse and Oakbrook. I have to pull a single axle from somewhere to go down Muse Bishop. I can't treat that road with a 550.
You know what?
With a 550, with a 3-ton truck.
So where do you run your single axles from?
Burnside, O'Hara, they would have to come out on Muse Bishop. It's not to say that it can't be done, but I would have to run a single axle on that, so I would have sufficient load so they can complete their routes.
That's fine. In the past, you told me that's what you would be able to do.
That's
Now,
what-
now all of a sudden it's changed.
No,
You
it
just don't
hasn't.
want to do it.
Right.
No.
No, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. It's
Bill, you're saying that no matter what we assign, you would do it, you would accomplish it. It
we
might take a little longer, but
we
you
would
would
get
do
the
it.
job done. It's something logistically that I have to work out with the snow routes.
But the
That's all it comes down to.
comments we get though is that some other residents, the streets that we're actually responsible for are gonna suffer.
Well, it's a timing issue, yes.
All right, okay, that's no issue. Does the board want to accommodate that road at the expense of some of our other roads that we have to do? That's.
We're going to get paid for it. It's not the expense of us. We're going to get paid $7,000, $8,000.
I mean,
You know.
the time.
I'd rather have that than wait till the next day and have school buses and residents travel Muse Bishop Road, and it's not treated. I've lived there my whole life. We have a fire department right on that road. Emergency services need to get out,
As the director of this department, I'm going to speak quite frankly to my position in this. It's not a problem for us to do it. We'll work it out logistically. But the question for me that comes up repeatedly is when and where do we start? If we do this Muse Bishop Road, then residents may want us to do Village Run Road.
No, we're not doing that.
I'm just saying, it's a concern for me. I'm just expressing.
No, we're in an agreement with Muse Bishop Road for 3 miles for 3 years. We're not touching any other PennDOT road, plain and simple.
But that's only my concern, that's all. I'm expressing my concern.
We signed a contract, we give service to the road we signed a contract for. Not these other PennDOT roads throughout Cecil Township. It'll be Muse Bishop Road. We have a major school complex there with 4,100 cars and school buses a day. I think we owe it to our residents that they can travel safely to and from.
Well, they have to travel on other state roads. There are 9 state roads here in the township.
That's too bad. We don't have the money, the funding, we don't have the people to plow all of PennDOT's roads in Cecil Township. I wanted to use this as a pilot program because I think of the children going to this school site. And I know what that road's like, living there my whole life.
Frankie, there are children going to Georgetown Road to school there, or Mayview Road.
Well, if you want to add to it, you want to do Georgetown Road?
No, but I'm sure that our residents would want service. If one road is getting it, they're going to say, why not my road? Why
Because
not?
we can't afford to. We don't have the manpower to take on all the state roads in Cecil Township, plain and simple as that.
That was my only concern, was you open Pandora's box with, if you do it here, we have an elementary school up here on Village Run Road also. We have one over on Georgetown, and that's my only concern.
Maybe